The World of Wellness, number 104, the 104th edition. My name is Mike Gallagher. I'm proud to be here. I've been to every single one of them, and I think I'm the only one who actually can say this, that I've been to every single Wellness Week since its inception started so many years ago by the late, great Dr. James Weiner, whose legacy lives on with us in this clinic now called World of Wellness. So I am a lifestyle educator, certified lifestyle educator. I've been in the nutritional industry for almost 30 years. I work with all different types of practitioners, from medical doctors to DOs to naturopaths to pharmacists to nutritionists to everybody that is some type of certification. So everybody has their own education and background, of course, but at the end of the day, it still comes down to the basics: foundational health, eating the right foods, eating less of those calories do matter, exercising, reducing stress, properly hydration, and then taking the right supplements for whatever the condition is at the right time and the right form to give you the actual magical program, right? So it's a whole program, folks. We always want to encourage that. But here at the World of Wellness, we have lots of stuff going on. It's the last day of a tremendous sale right now, so come on down. We have free food. We have free samples. We have us here to help and guide you in the right direction. So if you've never been here before, come on down. If you have been here before, take advantage of the extreme discounts. Today is the last day. So for today's topic, we want to discuss metabolic syndrome, okay? So, and what the best things that we can do for metabolic syndrome. And we have a brand new formula that we've been working on for quite a while that will help with all of these issues. But when we say metabolic syndrome, let's just define that, okay? So it's a series of markers that we look at. And again, typically if you have several of these issues going on, this is what we mean by metabolic syndrome. It also goes by a couple other names: insulin resistance, syndrome X. But basically, you're on the path to having major health issues, and we're trying to turn it around. These are some of the common signs and symptoms. So we start with waist circumference. For men, it's 40 inches or more. And again, this is above the belly button. For women, 35 inches or more, okay? So that is a sign right there, is your waistline. Secondly, we look at blood sugar. And really the key marker that we look at is your hemoglobin A1C, or simply A1C. This is a 3-month window of looking at your blood sugar. And if you're over 5.5, okay, this is a sign you are technically a pre-diabetic. Once you hit 6.0, then that is a sign you are a type 2 diabetic, okay? So again, 5.5 or higher on your blood sugar. Then we look at your cholesterol levels, okay? So if your cholesterol, especially your HDL, is low and your LDL is high, again, that is another indication of metabolic syndrome, okay? So, of course, it always starts with your food. And on our website, which is now updated, okay, we have spent a lot of time and energy updating our website. So if you go to www.nutritionalfrontiers.com and you go under the education tab, and I've done that already, you'll come to this professional training guide. And in this training guide, you have all kinds of information, including diets, including looking at labs, including looking at protocols. It's all right there at your fingertips, consumer health alerts, basically everything that, we have been talking about for the last 15 years is in this manual. But here is the number one thing, is the food. Okay, so this is a basic general guideline of healthy weight, healthy blood sugar management, right? So we focus on the yes, but we break it down Again, obviously fruits and vegetables, right? Good starches, okay? Bread, we want to limit or try to go Ezekiel there as well. Again, healthy legumes, beans, peas, lentils, healthy, good organic nuts and seeds. Of course, that would be for all of these. With meat and fish, okay, make sure it's organic or free range, all right, or you know the source of it. Not a big fan of milk, folks. Again, we prefer other things such as almond milk, coconut milk, and things like this. Healthy fats, obviously, coconut, sunflower, not even listed here, but grapeseed. Again, oils, these are what you want. You want to avoid the fried foods, okay? Again, when we go back to that milk, look at that. And so everybody knows dairy, of course, when we say no dairy, milk, but cheese, pizza, ice cream, okay, these are all have tons of dairy, and dairy will inflame your lungs, inflame your sinuses. Again, usually it has tons of sugar in there. It's the bad fats, the hydrogenated fats, right? So we want to avoid those, okay? Healthy water, of course, try to drink, again, anywhere half your body weight in water if possible throughout your day. Spices, obviously big fans of those, so lots of options there. And of all the sweeteners, stevia, okay? I would also add monk fruit to that list as well. But again, we want to avoid the artificial sweeteners, the high fructose corn syrup. Again, all those are bad for you. Spike up your blood sugar. So again, if you're just starting on this healthy journey and you look at these things, it might feel very intimidating or overwhelming. So again, I was told a long time ago by a practitioner, he always looked at when you're trying to change someone's diet, look at it as like you're giving up cigarettes, okay? Some people can go cold turkey, immediately stop the cigarettes. Other people, it's a slow process, a wean. So if you're committed, you can look at this list and you're going to go, okay, no more than no. I'm going to just focus on the yes, flip the switch, great. But if it's more of a process, you can break it down one food at a time, 1 week at a time, one food category where you feel comfortable, okay? So again, but the more committed you are to this diet plan, the better, healthier you will be. Plain simple. Also, the faster the supplements will work, okay? So we always say if you don't do what you're supposed to on the diet, it typically takes at least twice as long for the supplements to work, and you're going to have to spend twice as much money, okay? So the choice is always yours, okay? But it always starts with food foremost, all right? So that is right on our website under the professional training guide, okay? So with that. Now, we want to try to help you with the supplements, okay? So we have come out with this brand new formula called Thermogenesis Complete, okay? And if we break this down, okay, let's kind of blow this up here. So there we go. So Thermogenesis Complete. Okay, so this is really looking at it from 4 different mechanisms, not just one mechanism. So number 1, it is going to help burn the fat. Okay. Number 2, it's going to enhance your metabolism, speed up your metabolism without being a stimulant. Number 3, it will help stabilize blood sugar. And number 4, it is a very powerful appetite suppressant. And this has always been a challenge, is people who even are eating healthy foods tend to eat too much of them and overdo it. So this can really help with portion control all at the same time. Okay, so let's break this down. Okay, so we start with green coffee bean extract. So green coffee bean extract converts into chlorogenic acid, which helps delay glucose absorption. So it slows the release of blood sugar and insulin, so you don't get the crash and burn. It also inhibits this big fancy word called gluconeogenesis, which is, as we put in parentheses, the liver's ability to make glucose. if you do not focus on this, folks, if you don't burn this off for exercise, let's say, then the end result is sooner or later it will turn into fatty liver disease. Okay? Now, we can help with fatty liver disease with another formula called Live Complete. Taking 3 caps a day for 3 months. We've had great results with this, helping it. But let's not even get to that point, folks. Let's stop that process from happening. And green coffee bean is an ingredient that has been shown to help with that. Okay. It also, as we go into the second paragraph here, there's other newer studies that has shown helps with, again, fat metabolism, body weight, right? Reducing weight in pre-obese adults. So that is what we're trying to do. Now, this is not a new ingredient for us. We've been already using it in the Pro Oranges for years and years, okay? But this is a new ingredient that we've never before put it in a capsule until now. So this is one key component to this. Now, let's move on. As well, we have here, okay? So we also have Ervingia, okay? Ervingia is also known as African mango. This works on your hunger hormones, specifically leptin and adiponectin. And these are controlled by your blood sugar and insulin. So every single diabetic is out of balance in one or both of these hormones. And these hormones control your satiety, how full you feel, and your hunger, right? So this is part of the challenge. Once you are diabetic, it's really difficult because you typically are hungry the majority of the day. You're always hungry. And so it's like this vicious cycle. You want to do the right thing, but your body's telling you you're still hungry when in fact you already are full. But again, these hormones is exactly what's going on there. And Ervingia, along with raspberry ketones, are one of the only ingredients that we've seen, nutrients that can rebalance these hormones. Okay. Now we'll come back up to the Ervingia here in a minute because we have some brand new research on that. Okay. But the other next ingredient that we're using in this formula is called mulberry leaf. So a lot of people know about the old nursery tale, around the mulberry bush we go, right? Well, this is a different type of mulberry. This particular mulberry leaf is only found in one source, and that is in Asia, okay? This is a traditional Chinese herb. It is not new. It's been around for over 2,000 years. There's tremendous research on this, PubMed studies, published medical studies on it, helping with metabolic syndrome, obesity, diabetes, including type 1 diabetes, which is very rare to find any research on type 1 as well as type 2. It also helps with heart function. Okay, so you have the cardiovascular benefits, may help with blood pressure. And I also should have mentioned that is also another metabolic syndrome marker, is elevated blood pressure as well. Can help with atherosclerosis as well. And it also is a very powerful immune enhancer. There are numerous studies with this herb that has been shown to help even with cancer. Okay, so we used to sell this by itself. We used to call it super white mulberry. Okay, when we developed the Berrytone formula, we put these ingredients in our Berrytone. But now with these new patented trademarked ingredients, it takes Berrytone even up to another level. All right, now, what else did we add in this? This is a brand new patented trademarked ingredient called Capsimax. And Capsimax is the extract from peppers. And what the research has shown, and I'll show you some studies on this in a minute, that it actually speeds up your metabolism even while resting, okay? And it also is not a stimulant, folks, okay? So it produces that internal thermogenic heat, which helps speed up your metabolism. So this is another issue with weight. As we age, our metabolism tends to slow down. So this patented trademarked ingredient, Capsamax, has shown to help with this without being a stimulant. It is also a very powerful appetite suppressant as well. So I'll show you the studies on that in a minute as well. And then finally, Garcinia, which has been around since the early 90s. We had it as a standalone. So, but we decided when we were working on this formula, we want to try to develop a formula that's all in one, okay? Instead of adding to your protocol, let's just simplify it. So we phased out the Garcinia. It's no longer available, but it is in this formula, okay? The new Thermogenesis. All right. Now, those are the 6 ingredients in this, but let's talk about one of them in particular. So if we go back to the second paragraph in bold here under the Irvin-Gia, we have this new patented trademark form, and it's called IGO-B131. Okay. So Phil, if you could put up those studies with this. Okay, but we've nicknamed this ingredient ObiWan Kenobi because it's right there in the name, Obi-Wan. So it is very, trying to make a little light of it. But the research on this one ingredient is the greatest research that I've seen on any supplement in 30 years, folks. Okay, so this is really, really exciting. Okay, so you can see there's actually 5 different clinical trials with this one ingredient. This was one of the studies, and this was 10 weeks. The average weight loss in this one ingredient was 28 pounds, okay? The average body fat percentage lost is 18%, and the average waist circumference was 6.7 inches in 10 weeks. Okay. Now, of course, we want you to do the whole program, right? Reducing calories, exercising, everything that we talked about. But the amazing thing about this study was there was no change in diet or exercise, and they still saw these kind of results. Okay. So this is really, really exciting in the world of weight loss. And you can see it's not just what we want is the body fat. We want to lose that, and this really has shown with that. Okay, so Phil, go to the next slide. Okay, so here is a breakdown of it. So we can see here in the top graph in the study, yellow is placebo. Okay, after 4 weeks, the blue is the Obi-Wan. After 4 weeks, they did lose some weight, about 5 to 7 pounds, okay? But it really accelerated by week 8, okay? And by week 10, it accelerated even further. So why is that? Why don't you see that immediate weight loss? Because we're working on your hormones. And just like for female hormones, it takes 2 to 3 months to rebalance, your hunger hormones, leptin and adiponectin, take 2 to 3 months to rebalance. So, folks, all I would ask people, if you try this formula, is make a 2-month commitment to it, okay? 2 months. If you're trying to change the lab markers, which is what we're discussing, metabolic syndrome, blood sugar, cholesterol, takes 3 months, 3 bottles to change the labs, okay? But 2 months to see the benefit, to really maximize the benefit, with this formula. Now, if you look at the second bottom paragraph or bottom graph there, that is focusing on one of those hormones, leptin. So you can see even the first month, it dramatically helped lower leptin, but it got even better the second month, okay? So is exactly what we want to occur here. Now, let's go to the next study. This was looking at waist circumference. So yellow's placebo, again, blue is the Obi-Wan. But you can see in that first month, they did lose several inches, but not until the second month, week 8, is when those inches really accelerated. So again, you can see what we can actually claim with this ingredient, which is very unique. obviously weight management, okay, but even helping with stress eating, okay? This is another big issue. This has been shown to help on the emotional side, as well as your metabolic panel as well, okay, which is what we really are trying to achieve. All right, next slide, Phil. So exactly what I said, it's working on your hormones, adiponectin and leptin, but again, other benefits, C-reactive protein, inflammatory marker, okay? The higher you are, the more inflamed you are. This has been shown to help. Cholesterol, LDL, in addition, blood sugar, okay? Exactly what we wanted to do. And if you notice, they're actually calling this a functional ingredient, which I've never heard that term before in 30 years. So this is a whole new world of way we can talk about and explain these ingredients. Okay, so very exciting. Next slide, Phil. Okay, so again, you can see it again as a highlight at the very bottom there. It helped with all of those metabolic markers. So when the theme of this is the top protocol in the world for metabolic syndrome, it would be this new Thermogenesis Complete. Okay, now let's move on to the Capsamax studies. So remember, this is the other new patented ingredient that we added from peppers. So you can see there in the top paragraph there, it burned at least 6% more calories over a 4-hour period, even at rest. Okay, folks, another name for rest is sleeping. So even while sleeping, this will actually help to burn calories, on average 129 calories. And the heavier you are, the more you will burn, which is exactly what we want. Okay, next slide, Phil. Okay, so here's another clinical study that it burns the free fatty acid. Okay, that's what gets stored to fat the quickest. And again, 86% higher versus placebo after exercising. And again, anything over 10% is extraordinary. This is 8 times that. So fantastic study there. And then finally, next slide. So here's another clinical that it showed it dramatically helped with appetite. 7% decrease in appetite. So you have the Capsamax working with the appetite. You have the Garcinia helping with appetite. You have the Ervingia, the new ObiWan, and the raspberry ketone helping with appetite. So you have all these things going back. Okay, so thanks, Phil. Let's go back to the text sheet. Okay, so what is the dosage of this formula? Okay, so the clinical dosage is 3 caps a day. We would recommend that you take 1 capsule 30 to 60 minutes prior to your 3 major meals, because it takes at least 30 minutes to really feel that appetite suppressant working. If you only eat 2 major meals a day, then I would recommend 2 caps the first meal, and that third and final cap the second meal. If you only eat 1 major meal a day, we would do all 3 caps, 30 to 60 minutes. But 3 caps is where the clinical studies, especially with those new ingredients, have been shown that we need to be at. Okay? So, now, what we are seeing, what I'm hearing every day, even on a personal level with this formula, because I like to try these things too before I talk about them. But I've had some incredible testimonials on this, and we've only had this for a very short period of time. So one of my accounts, female, she tried this, brand new account with me in Minnesota. She tried this. She texted me after a week. She's lost 3 pounds 1 week. I had another account who started this around Labor Day weekend. Okay, that's when we introduced this into the market around Labor Day. So he got it he started it Friday before Labor Day weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday was Labor Day. Went to all the Labor Day picnics. He said he did not miss a beat, did not change anything at all. Okay, he texts me Tuesday, 4 days, lost 4 pounds. Didn't do a darn thing. Okay. I had another account just text me because some people ask me, what about, will this give you the jitters? Will this? No. I had another account who yesterday texted me Sunday. Last Sunday he started this, right? So not even a week. He's lost 3 pounds. He said he's sleeping better than he ever has. Nothing changed. Only thing changed is he added this thermogenesis, okay? And I also had another account who's been on it now for 4 weeks, and he's lost 9 pounds already. And even myself, folks, I tried this. I've been on it now for about 4 weeks. I've lost 6 pounds, okay? And you really do feel a very powerful appetite suppressant. And no matter what plan we do, it still comes down to calories. Calories in, calories out, okay? But again, because this is working on so many other levels, it can help with all these other metabolic markers, okay? So now, what are we really comparing this? So this is really like 5 supplements in one. So let's break those down. Garcinia, which we phased out, don't carry anymore. Baritone, okay, focusing on the hormones. Tone and lean, focusing on the belly fat. Glucolyze, because this will help with blood sugar. And also cholesterol red, because this also will help with cholesterol. Now, are we discontinuing any of those other ones? No. We still have those, and we'll talk about some of them here. If you want even faster, quicker results, that's fine. You can add it to them, bundle it together. But if you combine all 5 of those together, okay, your cost would normally be $222, okay? This formula retails for $99. So you actually are saving over $120 of other supplements if you're taking this. And in addition to that, we have it on a super discount. Today is the final day on that, okay? So it saves you even more. So again, we are trying to simplify. We're not trying to add to a program. But again, minimum 2 bottles, because the second month should be even better. And I'm excited to see what happens next month. And then the next month, the third month, should be even better, right? So, but we're really excited. Again, it's very few things. I can't think of anything that I've seen work this quickly, especially for weight loss, in the last 30 years, okay? But it's more than that as well, okay? Any questions on that one, Phil, or anybody have any questions on this? Makes sense to everybody what we're trying to do? Okay. So let's talk about some other complementary issues, right? So if we are working on blood sugar, we have the glucose. We've had this for years. It was formerly called Sugar Solve. We changed the name of it, okay? But this is specifically helping on blood sugar. Okay, so you have your key minerals, and we're using the Albion track minerals, chromium in there, which is help for the insulin sensitivity aspect of it. You have the cinnamon, which again, published studies, taking 1 gram a day significantly helps with insulin. And to get to 1 gram, folks, you need to take 4 capsules, okay, 4 a day, because per 2 you're getting 500 milligrams. So get the 1 gram or 1,000 milligrams, you need to get the 4. You have the Gymnea leaf, which helps with blood sugar as well. You also have the R form of alpha-lipoic acid. So this is the active, natural form of, which is what you want. Most companies don't use this. Why? Because it's more expensive. But we're helping with the antioxidant and free radical side of blood sugar. Okay, so again, can help with those more serious issues of blood sugar, like diabetes and neuropathy and kidney problems, things like that. You have the amino acid L-taurine in here, helps with mobilizing fat, sugar cravings, and insulin. You have your B vitamins, B6 and B12, and we're using the active forms there, the peroxyl 5-phosphate, or we call it P5P for short. A lot of companies use paradoxal hydrochloric acid, or HCl. So anytime you see that, that is a cheaper form of B6. Okay, this is what you want to look for on the bottle when you're looking at B6, paradoxal 5-phosphate, or P5P for short. And then we have the B12 in there, methylcobalamin. Again, a lot of companies use cyanocobalamin with a C, CYNA. Again, it's cheaper form, very more difficult to absorb. This one, the methyl form, you are able to absorb on that as well. And then we have the green tea leaf extract in here as well, which also helps with these blood sugar issues, also known as EGCG. All right. And I forgot this one, but Vanadil, can't forget about that. Another trace mineral. Just that mineral alone has been shown to help with blood sugar. And here's a study we referenced to back in 2001 there as well. So again, we put it all together here, folks, for you. Dosage on this is 4 caps a day, 2 in the morning, 2 at night. Okay. But if you again combine it with the with the new Thermogenesis Complete, it will give you even greater, faster results. We also now have a Berberine. So let's go to that one. So Berberine now is a tincture. Now we have been using Berberine in our candy kill for years, since the inception. So there is many benefits to Berberine. Okay. So antiviral, anti-candida, but in the last few years, there have been a lot of research on helping with blood sugar as well. Okay. So we wanted to put it in a tincture, and we combined it with cinnamon as well, okay, to give you even greater, faster relief of blood sugar than just a capsule would be, okay? But again, you can see a little background on the berberine itself, okay? It's an alkaloid from certain plants such as golden seal. So a lot of people take golden seal in the wintertime. Berberine is an extract from golden seal. Most people do not know that, okay? But very, very exciting in the world of this. Plus, look at this, other metabolic markers, cholesterol, triglycerides, LDL. This has been shown to help. So again, if that is your issue, yes, this will have some overlap as well. And again, the way we would dose this with how we would take it, there's actually a little bit of research on the cinnamon. As we just talked about with the glucose, we know that helps with insulin as well. So there's a lot of berberine capsules out there, but we've not seen this combination before, berberine with cinnamon in a liquid tincture. The way we would dose this would be 1 full dropper before every major meal, okay? Sometimes in those tinctures, they only come up halfway. So full dropper, so 2 halves equals 1 full dropper before every major meal is how we would dose this. And again, testimonials on this one as well. Some people have gotten tremendous results in 30 days, 60 days, when they went back and got retested their A1C, 90 days, great results. So you can take that as a standalone. You can combine it with the glucose if you want even faster results, or you can combine it with the Thermogenesis Complete. If we're focusing, though, just on cholesterol, then this is our formula for that, cholesterol red. Okay, now, but we already mentioned several things that will also help. But cholesterol red, the main ingredient in this is red yeast rice. Okay, so this has, but it will also help with triglycerides as well as your cholesterol. It acts very similar to the medication statins without causing side effects, especially when you have it in a formula where you're combining it with CoQ10. We also have plant sterols in this as well. Okay, we also have polycosanols as well, which also help with cholesterol and triglycerides. We also have gugolipid, which again might sound crazy name, but it's a very Ayurvedic herb from India. Tremendous research on this as well, going back to the 80s with cholesterol and triglycerides. We have the chromium in this as well, which we just spoke about. Okay. We have non-flush niacin, vitamin B3, also helps with cholesterol and triglycerides. All right. And we also have this microactive CoQ10. So this is a patented trademark form of CoQ10 that has been shown to be 3 times more absorbable than regular CoQ10 crystalline, or twice as absorbable as soft gels. Okay, so even though this says 100 milligrams, this would be equivalent to 200 milligrams of ubiquinone. And look at that, after doubles after 3 weeks, the baseline CoQ10. So patented trademarked ingredient we're using on it there, microactive. Okay, so what is the dosage on this one? 3 capsules. That is the correct dosage. 1 bottle should last 1 month. How long does it take to change cholesterol in a blood test? Typically 3 months. Although we have had testimonials where people did change their cholesterol after 2 months. Okay, so again, if that is the purpose, and if you, by the way, if you already are on a statin medication, this will not interfere with it. Just work with your PCP, prescribed physician. I would just take this an hour apart from any medication. And after 3 months, if your levels are better, hopefully the practitioner working with them can start lowering your medication. Okay, but we never want to go cold turkey. We're not, again, you always want to have an open and honest conversation with your practitioner when you're discussing these kind of issues. Okay, so last thing I want to just mention, let's go back to the thermogenesis, which we were talking about at the very beginning. Okay, so I am seeing a tremendous amount of people and practitioners now that are running into these newer weight loss drugs, such as Ozempic and these semaglutides. Okay, so I just want to have a brief conversation about these drugs and what I'm hearing and seeing in the field, because again, I have a unique experience of working with so many different types of practitioners. So first of all, Ozempic is not new. It's been around for many years for diabetes. Initially, it was only prescribed for diabetics. Okay, but when diabetics were taking Ozempic, they did start seeing significant weight loss. Okay, and only in the last year did they start marketing this as a weight loss drug. And what are they advertising on TV? 10 to 14 pounds of weight loss a week, weekly, okay, for Ozempic. And so what is really happening there, folks, is that these drugs, you basically are not hungry at all taking them. So yes, you're losing weight, but what kind of weight are you losing? You're losing majority muscle. You're not losing fat. And the other problem is that it causes gastroparesis, all kinds of major GI problems, from nauseousness to loose stools and diarrhea to constipation, even severe constipation. In fact, one of my other accounts, he told me one of his patients was taking Ozempic for 2 months, and after 2 months, he had major constipation. Okay, he could not have a bowel movement. Okay, severe, to the point now where he needs a device to stimulate his colon. And now they are telling him, even after they took him off the Ozempic, his colon is still paralyzed. Okay, and now he is contemplating colon major reconstructive surgery. Okay, So, yeah, I mean, the advertisements looked very enticing, right? And they flash on the screen what possibly could happen, okay? Potential side effect with any medication. And I'm telling you folks right now, that is what can happen, is that you can't have a bowel movement and you will potentially need surgery from these drugs, okay? But it causes major, major GI issues. And also, as soon as you get off the drug, the weight loss comes right back, or the weight gain, I should say. The weight gain comes right back, okay? So massive rebound effect. And so a lot of people, once you start the drug, now they're afraid to get off the drug, okay? Now they feel trapped. And I was just talking to another practitioner about this. And so now they're fearful of getting off the drug because of that, but they plateaued. They've reached a level with the drug that they can't lose any more weight. And so they're stuck. Okay, so lots of downside, folks. The other thing is the expense of these drugs. Okay, so Ozempic is, if you're diabetic and you have good insurance, price of a copay. But if you're not a diabetic or you don't have good insurance, Ozempic is $1,000 a shot monthly. $1,000. Okay, so that Thermogenesis Plus that we talked about at the very beginning, okay, Thermogenesis Complete, I would recommend that if you are considering these drugs, okay. It's 1/10 the price. It's not going to cause any of these side effects, okay. Or if you're on those medications and you've hit a plateau, you can combine it with those medications. Or if you're now transitioning off those medications to prevent that rebound effect, you can also use the Thermogenesis Complete that way as well, okay. But like, again, folks, when something seems too good to be true, it usually is. And there's a lot of downside to these newer drugs. But it is the fastest selling drugs in the United States right now, even at $1,000 a month. It's the fastest selling drugs. Pharmacies that I work with can't keep it in stock, and the drug companies can't make it fast enough because everybody is looking for these magic pills. We get it. We understand it. But the reality is, again, there's no such thing, but the Thermogenesis can help jumpstart any weight loss program or any metabolic program, okay? So all we would say, give this a chance. Try 2 bottles, 2 months to give this a fair chance, but we're already hearing and seeing fantastic things about it, okay? All right, any questions, Phil? Okay, anybody in the audience? Any questions? Make sense? Yes, sir. Thermogenesis Complete. It works on diabetics? Absolutely. Helps with blood sugar. Fantastic. Okay? Any other questions? All right, folks, my time is up. I'll be here the rest of the day. Come on down. Free food, free samples. Take advantage. All right. Have a great one. And live long and